Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guard, Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green last season was a great year for him, but this year the numbers have definitely been down. And with the arrival of Fred VanVleet, I think that has something to do with it as well. On the year, 17.1 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2 threes a game, and 39% from the field. So the last couple weeks, the numbers pretty much the same, 16.3 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.1 threes, and 37% from the field. So Jalen Green, he's still playing about 30 minutes a game for this Houston Rocket team. Obviously, this Rocket team is still young and has a mixture of older guys as well with Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet. But Green's field goal percentage and just consistency hasn't been there after last season. He did average 22 points a game. So January 17th at the Knicks, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and assists to steal, 40% from the field. January 20th versus the Jazz, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists to steal, 25% from the field. And January 21st versus Boston, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists to steal with 38% from the field. So right now, Jalen Green, while he's struggling and his points per game are down 5 from last season, I think it's a perfect time to buy him. This Rocket team still wants to produce these young guys and see what they have. And I think Jalen Green is part of the future and a guy that can help this Rocket team down the stretch here and fantasy owners. So right now, well, he hasn't done much over the last few games. He's a perfect buy low this week. The next guard I look to buy and trade for is Buddy Hield of the Indiana Pacers. So there's rumors he's on the trade block, and we'll see within the next 2 weeks towards the NBA trade deadline if Buddy Hield gets traded in a deal. So on the season, 13 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2.9 threes, and 44% from the field for Buddy Hield. So right now, he's the third or fourth option on this team with Tyrese Halliburton and trading for Pascal Siakam, even though this Pacers team is 0-3 since that trade. January 19th at Portland, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, a block, 6 threes, 46% from the field. January 21st at Phoenix, 18 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 60% from the field. And January 23rd versus the Nuggets, only 3 points, a rebound, an assist, 2 steals, a block, 33% from the field. So that was a game without Tyrese Halliburton. And Buddy Hield only scoring 3 points. So right now his value is super low. I think a change of scenery, honestly, would help him out for fantasy basketball plays because his points per game as well have gone down from 16 last season to only 13. And we know Buddy Hield over the last couple of years, he's been amongst the league leaders in three-point shooting, but the field goal percentage hasn't been great. Like I said, third or fourth option on this team. And if he does get traded, I think he'll be better off in terms of fantasy basketball with another team than his Pacers team. So right now, while Hield has been middle of the pack this season and coming off one of the worst games of his career with 3 points, this is a perfect time to buy him low. In the third and final guard I look to buy and trade for is Donte DiVincenzo of the New York Knicks. And DiVincenzo, we know for the most part, he's a 3-point specialist, and he'll get 3 or 4 rebounds per game, but that's about it. He's not going to give you a lot of categories. On the season, 11.3 points a game, 3.1 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.1 steals, 2.5 threes a game. So DiVincenzo, like I said, 3-point specialist. He's playing good minutes and starting at the 2 for this New York Knicks team. And you don't got to give up much to get him. And right now, he's the 4th or 5th option on this offense as well. Obviously, behind Brunson, Julius Randle, you could argue him or OG Anunoby as the third option. But anyway, January 18th versus Washington, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, 5 threes, 40% from the field. January 20th versus Toronto, 17 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 threes, 58% from the field. And January 23rd at the Nets, 11 points, 5 boards, a steal, 3 threes, 40% from the field. So right now, DiVincenzo playing good basketball, but he's still available as well in 40% of fantasy leagues on the waiver wire. But if you need some cheap 3-point shooting and a guy's getting good minutes, 25, 30 minutes a game, DiVincenzo, I think, is a good buy this week. So that's a few guards I look to buy and trade for week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.